ZZ has said, can an extruded disc become possibly as strong and flexible enough to match what it was before the injury? L5S1, is doing micro exercise plan during a flare good instead of waiting? So we actually touched on this yesterday. I think, I'm not even going out on a limb. Yes, you can be stronger whether you've had an extruded disc, a prolapsed disc, a herniated disc, or whatever, than you were before the injury. And the reason I say that is that, as we were mentioning on yesterday's live session, 93 to 95% of adults in the UK, and it's probably similar in other parts of the world, do not do any consistent strength-based training. And I think those that do, there's a lot of people that do not do it effectively. So of the 4.5 to 7% of the population of adult age that does do strength training for longer than a year, many of them are not doing it particularly well. And so there is the assumption that if you start doing it correctly, it is almost a given that I would say a substantial majority of people in the program can be stronger than they were before their injury, if not ever. And I would suggest a significant number of those could be stronger than they ever have been before if we're taking objective measures of strength to be something like a squat and a hip hinge, which are reasonably objective, or at least they're objective enough to be used in the world powerlifting, let's say. And so I do think it is very reasonable to suggest that you can be stronger than you were before your herniated disc, because quite frankly, the reason so many struggle with these injuries is because they were not strong or appropriately developing the necessary technique before they injured their back. I think it's worth marinating in that particular thought, because a lot of people feel like it's kind of like a life sentence when they have that feeling, oh, your disc is never going to be the same again. No, it's not, but it was never pushed anywhere near its limits before you injured the back. And you injured the back reaching over to pick up a water bottle, which implies in of itself that we did not have a strong and healthy lower back. If you did not injure your lower back lifting a significant amount of load, and it was something quote unquote silly, that you may be embarrassed to tell someone it's causing this much discomfort in your daily life as a consequence of that little thing, you did not have a strong lower back before you injured it. And that's why, that research that we touched on yesterday on the live kind of just hits the point home. Like I thought it might have been bad, but I didn't realize it was 7 to 4.5% of the UK population, according to a synthesis of these studies, have done resistance training for a year or longer. That is astounding. That is astounding. It's very bad. It also bodes very well because there's so many markers that we can use. There's so much opportunity to improve the health and well-being of such a great portion of the population.